Happening right now, the fate of Ammar Harris hangs in the balance. We should know soon whether the convicted strip shooter will live or die for the shootout and fiery accident that took 3 lives. Action News reporter Masa Saidi is at the Regional Justice Center with the latest. Masa.
Ricky, we are inside the courtroom where closing arguments just wrapped up about 10 minutes ago. The fate of Ammar Harris is being deliberated by the jury right now. We heard pretty much what we've been hearing from prosecutors and defense attorneys and their short closing arguments. Inside that jury box, there were 16 people, all but 4 are women. They listened intently to both prosecutors and defense attorneys. We have no clues at all to what they were thinking. We could not tell by looking at them, but 12 of these people again right now deciding whether Harris lives or dies. Prosecutors argued that death is appropriate because of so-called aggravating factors. This was a triple homicide. They talked about the recklessness of this act, the violence, opening fire on the strip just because he felt disrespected, putting so many lives at risk and ultimately ending 3 innocent lives. Defense attorneys argued that actually life without parole would be a bigger punishment for Harris. This is a man, they said, who was living a life of wealth and abundance. This is a man who values his freedom. They also talked about mercy, how sentencing Harris to death is not going to bring these victims back, saying bluntly that the state wants to strap him to a gurney and pump him with poison. Here is the judge giving jury instructions a short while ago.
The jury shall fix the punishment at 1, a definite term of 50 years with eligibility for parole beginning when a minimum of 20 years has been served, or 2, life imprisonment with the possibility of parole with eligibility for parole beginning when a minimum of 20 years has been served, or life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, which means exactly what it says, that the defendant shall not be eligible for parole, or death.
In that jury room right now, 3 things are happening. They are considering aggravating factors. The jury must unanimously find at least 1 aggravating factor exists beyond a reasonable doubt. Then they're going to consider mitigating factors. They're going to be thinking about all of those things that defense psychologist was discussing yesterday, the emotional issues, the psychological issues that Harris endured, how he was molested at 7, raped at 11. Then finally, they're going to decide whether the death penalty is appropriate here. They have a couple of options. Back out here live, they could decide to sentence Harris to life with the possibility of parole, life without the possibility of parole, or they could make the ultimate, most harshest decision, which is to sentence him to death. We're going to continue to stay out here live and keep you up to date. Reporting live inside the courtroom, Masa Saidi, Channel 13 Action News.
Thank you, Masa.